All right, we are back. Welcome back to the Yo Show. Thank you so much. Make sure you drop a super chat. I think that's where they can tip us. I'm not sure, but drop a super chat. Remember, this weekend, St. Louis, we will be at the Funny Bone Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Can't wait to see you there. Also, we're going to be
Columbus,
Ohio, December 20th and 21st, I think, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a Funny Bone as well.
Yep.
Big shout outs to the Funny Bone. Thank you so much for all the love. All right, let's jump into the news. What do we got?
Yeah, so Jazy-Z, man, we were just talking about this over the weekend. Says the lawsuit accusing him of raping a child at an awards after party is part of an extortion ploy. He says that the woman who previously sued Sean Diddy Combs, alleging she was raped at an awards show after party in 2000 when she was 13, amended the lawsuit Sunday to include new allegations that Jay-Z was also at the party and participated in the sexual assault. Jay-Z calls the allegations idiotic and heinous in nature. Turns out, years ago, Jay-Z sued her lawyer, Tony, what's his name, Busby, saying that this guy is trying to blackmail me. Fast forward years later, he is now this woman's lawyer. So this is all starting to come around. He does make a point at the end of the article where, after he was interviewed about it, he did say, and I agree with him with this. This is why I'm having such a hard time making any sort of jokes about the UnitedHealthCare situation, which we'll talk about in just a second. But he says, my only heartbreak is for my family, he said in a statement posted on social media. My wife and I have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I have a hard time believing that Jay-Z would be involved with anything like this. Now, I'm not saying that he wouldn't be at a party. I'm not saying that he wouldn't maybe have been around the vicinity of where this is going on, but I have a hard time believing that Jay-Z would be like, oh, that's happening in that room, and then be like, I'll be right back, fellas, and then walk in and participate.
Are you saying because of the lawyer situation? Or let's take the lawyer, if the lawyer wasn't involved, this lawyer that Jay-Z's tried to sue before.
Yeah.
Just say the story came out. Jay-Z allegedly raped a 13-year-old girl, and there was no lawyer attached and no backstory. Would you keep the same feeling?
Yeah.
You would?
Because there's no video evidence of him beating up Beyonce in a hotel room hallway. There's no evidence of him, holding.
Well, there is evidence of him getting beat in a elevator by Solange.
There is
remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. But he doesn't strike me as that guy, and as somebody who is obviously not rich, but I kibitz with rich people who aren't even on the level of Jay-Z and Beyonce, and to see how many people come at them with insane lawsuits just to get settlements, I can imagine that
all the time.
All the time. So maybe something like he was at the party, he was there, he was a recognizable name. Obviously, this is a terrible thing that now did Sean Diddy Combs do this? I would think that.
If they said it, he did it. You would, because you've seen so much evidence that would prove he would do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time believing Jay-Z would be a part of anything
I don't
like this.
and it's alleged, by the way. We're not, it's just came out in the press. The lawyer seems like he's shady.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It could be a money grab. But I also know that these rappers, we know how Diddy is now. So go back 20 years when they were in their prime and running everything.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's my point, is Jay-Z was big, Diddy was big, but that's when they were people really cared. They were king of the mountains. You know what I mean? So it's kind of okay, because I see it. I don't see Jay-Z doing it either, but I do see circumstances with celebrities where things can get out of hand because you're a celebrity.
Sure.
And you have all access. You have nobody telling you no. You got all the money in the world, and real normal life gets boring to you. And you're like, let's try something new. Now, I'm not talking, this 13-year-old girl has nothing to do with what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is these celebrities live on such a level that we can't even understand.
Yeah.
People with that much money, they live on a level where life is so not fun for them. So they got to try to find something else.
Yeah.
To fulfill that need. And I would not compare it at all. But I would say on a way different level, but hopefully this makes sense. I interviewed the guys that raided Benghazi to get our people back. I interviewed the actual soldiers. and they hate normal life because it's not exciting.
Yeah.
Like they're actually sad to be they would rather be the way they talked about bullets flying past their head and lit up. That's where they want to be. The adrenaline of that is something that can't be matched in normal life.
Yeah.
So they're actually sad they're not still fighting. Where if you're a celebrity, normal life is so boring. What's going to get you excited? Buying another Porsche? Like that would do it for me.
Yeah.
But for them, they could do that every day of the week. It doesn't matter. So they got to find things to get their adrenaline to feel like a different level, to feel like normal, because normal life isn't normal to them.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. I don't know.
No, absolutely. Because I have a friend of mine who was a Marine for a long time and got out. He's he does like a little bit of service here and there. And, he's got a wife, 2 kids. And when the war in Ukraine broke out, he was a part of a group of ex-Marines that he did 3 tours with. And these guys basically said, they're almost like a do-gooders society, where they said, when there is something going on in the world and we can help, we're going to be there. And after the war in Ukraine broke out, these guys all got together. And all their wives were like, please don't do this.
Yeah.
Please, gosh. But they were like, honey, I don't think you understand what it's like to be us. That's all we know is from the age of 17 on until like our 30s, we were all in combat. That's all we know how to do. So these guys went to Ukraine and ended up rescuing over 150 children from sex trafficking.
Wow.
Wild. I'm like, dude, they should make a movie about these guys. But you ever seen, what was that, Navy SEALs with Charlie Sheen? Those guys, like Michael Biehn back in the day?
No, I haven't seen it.
They're in the middle of this guy's wedding. And all of a sudden they get like a deployment and they're like, we got to go. And he's like, honey, I love you, but duty calls. And she's like at the altar in her wedding dress. And you're like, who would ever allow this to happen?
Right? But it is. I mean, it's very, the people that especially serve our country, which we respect so much on this show, they're different animals.
Oh, yeah. Man.
I call it's the way they light up for combat, because you're right, that's all they know.
Yeah.
So, but going back to Jay-Z, if you're around it all the time and you're on another level, I'm not saying he did it, but what I'm saying is so many opportunities to do stuff that seem horrible to us are very normal to them.
Yeah.
That opportunity comes up all the time. My question also is, what is a 13-year-old girl doing at these parties? Where are your parents?
Absolutely.
And I'm not victim blaming if she is a victim. I'm saying, where are your parents in this situation? Why are you 13 at a party like this?
Yeah.
You know?
It's weird. I know. I think about that all the time, and you will definitely get there when your daughter gets to that age.
Oh no, she's not going anywhere, Rudy. Nowhere. You think I was talking to my wife about this the other day. I don't even know what age you let your kids go to the mall by themselves anymore.
Yeah.
Because we would walk to school at 8 or 9, 2 miles.
Oh yeah.
But now the problem is we know too much. We know too much out there.
Yeah, and it's a lot of scaring people too. Yeah, my parents would leave the house at 7 a.m. and not come home till like 4 o'clock in the afternoon during the summer. We'd be out riding bikes, terrorizing things.
Yeah.
We'd be out in the woods, screwing around, doing whatever. We'd come back. They had no idea where we were.
And they didn't care.
And they were like, you'll be back at some point, whatever.
Yeah.
But now, like my daughter, if I let my daughter take a walk to the park across the street by herself, my mom's like, someone's going to kidnap her.
Yeah.
I was like, no, she's not. Like, we're not that special.
And this is the mom that didn't care about you.
Did not care. Did not care about us. Yeah. So speaking of, I know we just brought it up a second ago, police now in a search for the man, the bike, and the gun to solve the killing of the UnitedHealthCare CEO on the streets of New York. God, we were just watching some of that video before we started it. It is wild, isn't it?
It's like a movie.
Yeah, you're right.
First of all, I thought it was disgusting that all the news actually showed the full shooting. Now they're stopping the video before the first pull.
Yeah.
But I remember growing up, we've gone from, we can't show you the footage, it's too graphic, to we're just going to show you up to where it happened. Now they're showing people getting executed on TV, on the news.
Yeah.
I think it's so sad that the family now has to deal with that video being looped over and over again. I just think we are a society that loves to watch terrible things, but we never think about the consequences of the family. When that dude probably was a father, I know he was married, getting killed on national TV, and it's being broadcasted everywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it is weird to see so many of my friends that are, they have such sensibilities when it comes to, I don't know, about jokes. You can't say this word, you can't do this, you can't do that. But then a guy gets gunned down in cold blood, and because you hate, your health insurance right now, you're like, it's okay if we kill him. You're like, wait, what? Why do you get to take that stance? Yeah, my girlfriend had a great joke about it. Great. And she sent it to me and said, would you post that? And I'm like, no. Because the last thing I would ever want to have happen is to have his children scour the internet one day and see this stupid joke that we made. Great joke, nonetheless, still a comic. I think it's a great joke. I would never post it.
Yeah.
It feels weird to do that.
Yeah, and I'm sure there are comics making jokes about it.
Sure,
and
lots
stuff
of
like that. Lots of them. That's just not my vibe.
No,
that's not like life is so short. Life is like, but we're different kind of comics. Like, I'm a different guy. I like to bring joy in people's lives. I like to make people laugh. I like to bring people together. My vibe is not saying something shrewd about a person that died, or even about certain, I don't know. It's just sad that we're in this place where they're showing executions on TV. But the whole thing's like a movie. Like, literally, the video footage looked like a movie. The guy is a pretty face killer. Like, literally, like, he's a pretty face. Is that his nickname, Pretty Boy Killer?
Yeah, well, do you remember when the Boston marathon bombings happened?
Yeah.
Rolling Stone put a picture of that kid who was involved with it. He was like kind of a baby face, had like curly long locks. They put him on the cover of Rolling Stone like this kid was a national celebrity.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, and it's weird that this case is, we've seen a person get executed. And look, we're all not happy with our health insurance in America. Let's be honest.
It's terrible.
And there's a lot of corruption in everything.
Yep.
Right? But also, you shouldn't cheer for a person to die.
I agree. Yeah. It's awful. Yeah.
What type of person are you that cheers a person getting, like, even if he owned UnitedHealthCare, you know how many levels of corruption there is in that company?
Absolutely.
Or any healthcare company. You know how many levels of corruption are in our government?
Yeah.
Are you going to just, and to have no sympathy, that's the scariest thing. There are some people that are cheering this.
Oh, yeah.
And to have
absolutely.
no sympathy for it, like, that's sad.
Yeah.
That's a sad place for America.
I don't want to get to a point where we think it's okay to execute somebody because of whatever job it is that they have. Because, hey, man, not that I'm ever vying to be the CEO of a UnitedHealthCare, but I would hate to be in a position where somebody thinks it's okay because of a joke that we made or a show that we did.
And guess what? Today, it would happen. If you made the wrong joke and you got killed, you would have some people cheer. But that's because everybody has a voice now.
Absolutely.
So you could be the best person in the world. Live the best life, treat everybody the same. There's always going to be negative people.
Always, man. Always. Something. Yeah, here's what they know about so far. Here's some of the evidence that they've already gathered. Images of the suspect's unmasked face, which we saw last week. Video evidence of the path he took to escape. The backpack possibly worn by the suspect with a jacket inside. DNA from a discarded Starbucks water bottle. Fingerprint from the water bottle. A discarded burner phone. 9mm shell casings with the words delay, deny, and depose written on them, which I saw somebody had taken live, laugh, love and then scratched it out and put delay, deny, depose. And I was like, okay, funny joke. I get what you're going with it, but it just feels weird to be making jokes at a time when somebody has died. The three things that they really are looking for right now, obviously, they want to confirm the identity of the suspect. They want to find that weapon. And of course, the bicycle that they suspect he threw in that pond, which I was watching those guys scuba dive for that thing. If I was that scuba diver, I'd be like, if I find this guy, I get to kill him first. I get to put a bullet in this guy. You making me jump into this pond when it's 30 degrees out?
And we don't have better technology now?
I agree.
That could scan that pond and tell you exactly where the bike is?
Send a guy down there in a wetsuit at 30 degrees in Central Park? No, thank you, man. No, thank you.
But, it's crazy. The photos are everywhere. The backpack filled with Monopoly money and a jacket. They don't know, the investigators don't know if those are clues or he's just trying to mess with them.
Sure.
So look, we're gonna see how this all plays out. But if you're like, I don't know why he did it, some people, look, there's corruption everywhere. But that doesn't mean you take out a person.
Yeah.
Because he was married. I don't know if he had kids or not.
2 kids. I believe it was 2 kids. He was a Minnesotan.
Yeah, so now those kids don't have a father. Like it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good. I do believe like it is our job as a person, as a human being, if you know there's corruption around you though, to try to take care of it and treat everybody fairly.
Yeah.
But you should not be punished for that, especially that magnitude. Like you killing him, guess what? It's not going to change healthcare at all.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Like nothing's gonna change. Nothing.
Yeah.
You know, you just took a person's husband and father. You know, you made your point, and you know it's sad. You know, but I don't know, man. I just value life so much, and I just want. Look, I'm being cheesy here. I just want everybody to win and live happy, man.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Totally agree.
That's it.
Yep. Man says Delta burned his golf clubs that were worth almost $4,000. Did you see this on the news the other day? Yeah, so Florida man says that Delta Airlines burned his golf bag and clubs inside that were worth almost $4,000. John Andre's claim was initially declined by Delta, but when Delta heard that he was talking to the press, things changed. They paid him in full.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
How do you burn golf clubs?
That's a good question. I don't know how you would burn golf clubs. I don't know. Maybe they were they graphite and then maybe
I don't golf, so I have no idea.
I don't know. That's a weird one.
But I know one thing. We fly Delta all the time. Delta is good to me. Like if anything goes wrong, like I've had luggage break, whatever. Here's the thing they're doing now is they'll give you luggage if you want to take. They have luggage.
Wow.
Because they break so much luggage. They have luggage.
Oh, yeah.
So if your luggage breaks, you can be like, I want a new bag. They'll roll out a new bag.
Get out.
It's not as good as your bag.
Of course not, no.
And they don't want, because they don't want to pay you the $200 or whatever dollars.
Yeah.
So their bag is probably like $60.
Yeah.
But if you're in a bind and need a bag,
yeah,
you'll have a bag till you get a better one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that happened to me one time, but I'm not a normal traveler. Like I fly over 60, 70 times a year. So like my bags take a beating.
Yeah.
And I actually, you know what? I'm gonna start doing some travel tips and show you things I use to travel since I travel so much that actually hold up. Because I don't have deals with these companies. I just want to show you this piece of luggage I got at Costco. That's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Over 70 trips, year and a half of flying, maybe closer to 80. Good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a video about it too.
Yeah. I remember the first time I think I was ever at a show where you were at and you had pulled up like merch. And I was like, you travel with that all the time? And you're like, it's the only way to do it, man. Like you just grab those hard shell cases, fill them up, zip it. Yeah. The one thing I didn't know, because the first piece of luggage I bought did not have the inside zipper.
Oh yeah.
That
you need it.
Yeah. Didn't know about that. So now the luggage I travel with
the hard shells, but you gotta have the armor on the side, like at the tips of it where they fall.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.